All right, in this chapter, we're going to talk about how to use the physical inventory tool in DX1 to either do annual or cyclical counting in DX1. You have to have the right permissions. If you do, you'll see inventory management. Really, you can click any of the parts tiles. Once you do, over in the left-hand collapse menu under management, we can see here management, we'll see the physical inventory tool. Once I click it, it's going to land me on the page. Make sure to read these kind of bulletin notes we have here. Before you do this process, in here we don't account for negative on hand. We have a report. You'll have to manually go adjust those before you run this process. It does not affect serialized items because those are kept by serial number, so you'll have to check those separately. And if you do see in the list, which we'll show you here in a little bit, a value that looks clickable, that's because there's invoices associated with it. So when you're trying to find things that are on hand but not available, that's a great tool. And you can use a mobile device for this whole process. We do have a really great process built into this to allow people to use their mobile device to count so that different people can be running sessions for different vendors at the same time, counting and all those types of fun things. It gets really get rid of the old count sheets. We have a great resource video under our YouTube page separate than this that's almost 30 minutes that explains the whole process. In this video here, we're just going to go through the basics of how to conduct a physical inventory. All right, so I can search by manufacturer, vendor, bins. Remember in DX1, bins don't keep track of quantity by bin. It's simply a location. So if you think you're going to select a particular bin number and it's going to say you have this amount in this bin, that's not how DX1 works. If I'm doing a full store inventory, which I'll do for this example, I can just click search. I'm going to get a list of pages with the different parts and the different vendors. I could decide how I want them to show in the list here using our drop downs. So I can say, why don't you show me by part number first, and then let's go brand, and it'll search and get them sorted that way. And then I could do a full search. If I want to just do a search by a manufacturer, a particular one, let's take a look at see what we got for CF Moto here. We can do a quick search. You can see we have a number of parts. This is how I could do a search here as well. So that's what we're going to do. Once I have my parts searched that I want, either by vendor or a combination of things or my whole store, I'll go ahead and start. And now one of the great things about DX1 is that um, you can do inventory while you're open. Our system will keep track of what's going on since the time you started the system and when you finish the process. It might say, hey, you counted two, but after you counted two, we recognize you sold one. We just want to verify you agree and that you have one left. You can verify that and count it. So you don't have to be closed to use the physical inventory tool. It can be left open for days at a time or weeks if you're conducting it. But again, that's not a great practice because you're going to end up selling a lot of stuff and it will become useless. So I would say do your best when you're planning to start a session and try to finish it relatively soon. All right, once I've searched my parts, I hit start. Here I have a couple options in my menu. If I want to kind of go an old school way, I can click print sheets. You can see them here. I can print them out. I can hand them to people. They can go down and enter their numbers in. And when they do that, they'll be able to come back here and enter in. You will enter in whoever they bring the sheets back, they'll bring, and then somebody will manually enter the count. I will remind you that's double the work. Why we've designed to work with a mobile device. Again, go find our other video to see a little bit more about that. But yeah, you can go the counting way. Also in this menu drop down, you can run a physical inventory status report. You can really run this at any point in time. What I recommend to users is to print a copy of this before you start, so you have you know where you were at, and maybe a backup copy on the hour every couple hours, days if it's going over days, whatever it is. So you have a snapshot of where you're at in case people really mess something up or something goes haywire. In the physical inventory process, once you run it, there's no going back. So even if you did that process and realized you made a huge mistake, if you had a backed up copy here, you would be able to override the changes you made, possibly. And again, on this report, it'll kind of show you your delta amounts, what's been expected and what's been actually counted. And in this case, I haven't counted anything yet. So my negative delta is the full amount. All right, so those are just some of the options there. We can also use a scanner. You can go and scan in 100 parts at a time. If you have three of a part, you're going to need to scan it 3 times if you're not using a barcode that has stored data on it. If you're using it, the barcode without or a scanner without or with memory, you won't have to be toggled to the computer to make it work. Once you do get it downloaded, you can unload it here. But just do remember you can only do 100 quantity parts at a time. Again, I really think the best way is to use a mobile device. All right, so one way or another, we're going to go out and we're going to start counting parts, and we can do that. If we're using mobile devices and we're watching this screen, we'll see people out receiving or counting, I should say, and we'll start to see updates in real time. I could just sit here and manage it. If I'm entering in the numbers, I can go up here. People brought me sheets, or if you're having multiple people entering their values, you can do that. Again, you can see me entering my quantities here. 1, 1, and for this last one, we'll do 0 to create a delta. So that's the basic process, right? Whichever the counting mechanism is, however you're going to offload the data, eventually there's an amount that it's expecting you to find, and then there's the amount that you actually do find. And in this case, our inventory would have been pretty good. Maybe somebody stole this clamp. So if everything looks good, we can't find it. Hey, that's the reality of it. We're just missing one. We've done our best. Then we're ready to move on to the next process. So then I can go ahead and I can hit continue. And this is going to bring me a page to simply show me all the negative deltas, what I'm about to be off before I complete the process. So if I need to double check anything, make sure somebody didn't miscount, because in the next step, whatever the difference is here is going to be updating through my accounting. So if everything looks good, and I know I lost it, I can be like, okay, let's just go ahead and update. And I'll check this box. This box is telling you there's no going back. I've also mentioned that. Again, make sure you know that you're ready to proceed before you check that box and hit OK. And once I hit OK, my system will update. It'll take a little bit in the background, but eventually here in not too long, my inventory quantities would update. Now, if you were wanting to do physical inventory again, and I do want to show you something here a little bit, let's go ahead and we'll open a new tab. We'll go over to inventory management. Let's find one of those CF Moto parts in inventory. Look for part number, search. Let's find this part here. We'll copy it and we'll put it on an invoice as hold, because I want to demonstrate the difference between on hand and available in DX1. So let's say we have a customer and we take this part and we put it on layaway for them. Okay. We'll go ahead and cashier them out. We'll take a payment. We'll complete the sale. So technically, now in our dealership for this part, there's 1 on hand and 0 available. Now, when I go back and do the same process I just did, I can go find CF Moto. I can do my search. It'll show all my parts and I can hit start. And what we'll see in the next screen here is a little bit of a difference between the last time. You notice this expected quantity has a line underneath it, and that's to let you know there's going to be a difference from what's on hand versus what's available. So I know where to go find it. And in this case, if I have a stocking location for this part number, but it's sitting on a layaway shelf for a customer, if I go over there to look for it, I might think, oh, I don't have any, and put the actual 0. So this is one of the upsides of using the digital tool, is you're able to click this and find out, oh, okay, it's telling me I should have one. Rather than going to the stocking shelf, I should go over to the layaway shelf. Oh, there it is. Yep, it's for the customer. And then I could close this and say I definitely found it. I could continue to add the rest of my counts in. Everything looks good. Great job. We're all finished. I would hit continue here and I would go through the same process. In this case, everything looks good. I have no negative delta. I can hit update, check my box, and click OK. So those are the basics of running physical inventory. Again, every December, usually in the first or second week of December, we have a dedicated live webinar for physical inventory. And again, in our DX1 database of other videos, we have a large expanded video where I talk a lot more about processes and things you need to consider and how you can run it. I show demos of the mobile device. And just as a note in this process, if you're like, yeah, that sounds good, I want to do a mobile device. If a user needs to log into a mobile device, you can see here, you can click the help, click on DX1 Mobile. It'll show you a QR code. They can scan that with their mobile device, it'll open them up. They can log in and get quick access to DX1. So, just a little tip there. Make sure to catch that video. Make sure if you're watching this and it's near December and you're interested in this process to keep an eye out for our physical inventory webinars. So, this is a really important process in your dealership. You want to have your inventory optimized the best you can, and this is one of the best tools you have to keep that steady.